Hi, my name is Steve Larson, and this is session 3 of 5 sessions that are giving you 5 principles to strengthen your influence on your young person as a parent. Connie and I are passionate about this whole subject because we have learned that if you give your time and energy as one parent, 2 parents focusing together as one, you can actually build a young person into an adult that you're going to enjoy for the rest of your life. I have to say, one of the greatest blessings of my life, I have 3 kids, and they're all married. I love my 3 kids as adults, and I love the people they're married to, and I love the children that they're raising. And it's so fun because they're not doing it the way I would do it. In fact, they're all incredibly unique in how they approach it, but we're all on the same path together, and that brings incredible joy. And that's what I want to help you, to help your young person be on a path that you're going to enjoy as they grow into adulthood. This 3rd session is based on a scripture. I don't really have a life scripture, but if I did, this would be among the top 10. It's James 1:19 and 20, and James writes this: "Be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For the anger of man, and I might say for the anger of men and women, do not accomplish the righteousness of God." Let me give you my personal version of verse 20. It's when you get angry, nothing good happens. The principle we're going to talk about today is one that is going to be very difficult for some of you, but it's going to be important for you to intentionally learn how to do this. The principle is to underreact. Underreact. When crises come in your family's life or in your child's life or your young person's life, if you are one of those parents that overreact and start screaming and yelling and getting angry and chewing out your kids before you understand the situation, you've actually lost a critical opportunity to help your young person see that crisis that they're in from a bigger perspective. And the focus won't be on their learning, it won't be on their growth, it won't even be on what they've done wrong. It will be on your behavior. And the conclusion your kids will come to if you are an overreactor is, wow, my mom and dad can't handle this stuff. I need to hide it from them when it comes up again. And you'll develop a pattern where your kids do not come to you with important things because they can't trust your reaction. So, how do you become an underreactor? The first is learn to keep on listening until you understand the situation. So James says, be quick to hear. That means have an intention and a desire and a passion to fully listen to hear, and to understand your young person. Let's say they come home 2 hours late and they didn't call you, and you've been worried about them, and you tried to call them on their cell, and it went right to voicemail, and you're just freaking out. You're wondering, are they in the hospital? Did something terrible happen? And they get home. Oh, how do you react then? I've had parents react and start shouting at their kids immediately before they even heard what happened. I've had parents call their kids names. I've had parents cry and tell their kids that they have devastated them and hurt them because they were so worried about them. And what the kids walk away with is the idea, man, my parents can't handle stuff. They don't even think about their own wrongdoing. They think about your bad reaction to their wrongdoing. So how do you react in that situation? Number 1, what I needed to do was to pray. If I found my emotions building up, I would stop and I'd say, Lord, I need your help to be calm in this situation. And so My son comes home escorted by the police. Okay, deep breath, because I'm really mad and I'm kind of embarrassed and a whole bunch of things are going on. I'm worried about what could be the outcome of this. And after the policeman leaves, what I asked my son, tell me what happened. And he explained what happened. It was really dumb. And it was something that I would have done when I was 16. But of course, I don't remember that part of it at that moment. And so the second thing I did after he told me what happened is I asked him the question, what did you learn tonight? And you know what was so great? He told me, almost in reverse, exactly what I would have told him without the criticism and the anger. And I sat back and I thought, that's good. I'm really glad you learned what you needed to learn. And then the third thing I said is, let's talk about consequences. What do you think should be the consequences of your behavior? Guess what? He spelled out more serious consequences than I would have spelled out if I were yelling at him and telling him what we're going to do to him. And so rather than this becoming a relationship breaking event, it was a relationship building event. And what my son learned is, wow, I can trust my dad in difficult situations. And so in future situations, he would come to me and he learned something. He learned if I tell my dad the truth, he's going to go easier on me than if I lie to him and he finds out some other way. And parents, that's what I wanted more than anything else. If my kids did something wrong, I wanted their first response to come to me and tell me about it, and then we'd work it out together. So the first principle is to learn to listen and understand before you respond. The second principle is in this category of being slow to speak. And I want to encourage you to do something that is going to bless you every time you hit one of these difficult situations. Learn to put a pause between your thought and your mouth. I even have that on my emails where once I've sent an email, it gives me 5 minutes to unsend it. That has saved me from doing some really, really dumb and hurtful things. Because you may be, and you're sending the email and you send it and you go, oh, wait a minute. Is that really what I wanted to say? No, it's not what I wanted to say. And I'm able to call it back. Well, unfortunately, when we're speaking, especially to our kids in difficult situations, once those words are out, they can never be recalled. I want to give to you a couple of great words. One word in the Proverbs is a word called prudence. I want to read to you Webster's dictionary definition of prudence. Prudence implies caution in deliberating and consulting on the most suitable means to accomplish valuable purposes. In other words, there's not a rushing ahead to judgment. There's not a rushing ahead to vomit verbally on your children. There's a sense of caution. And let me give you some warnings. I have heard parents call their young people some of the worst names you could ever imagine. And they did it while they were angry. There are some things that you can overcome, but parents, sometimes you actually cross a line that may leave a scar that will never heal. And the relationship can overcome that in a way, but that relationship may never get back to where it was before you uttered those words. When I grew up, I heard sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the biggest lie that has ever been foisted on children. Words do hurt. And I want to encourage you that before you speak to your kids, and maybe you need to take a break. Maybe you need to say to your son or daughter, hey, before we talk, I just need to go outside and get myself under control. What a great example to your kids. And what they're learning is mom and dad value what they want to say to me. The third principle is to be slow to anger, and it kind of grows out of that second one. And that is to learn that when you're angry, you need to take a break, because nothing good is going to happen in the situation when you're angry. So parents, learn to be an underreactor. And I know some of you are overreactors by nature, right? I'm speaking to you as a fellow overreactor. And I had to actually pre-think situations and how should I respond in those situations so that when they came up, I was ready to respond. I hope this is helpful.